Alright, first ride Pocahontas with Valerie for a while on her new Pivot. Haven't used a GoPro in ages, so this is as much of a test for the GoPro as it is for her new bicycle. And the entrance across into Swift Creek. And of course to our favorite, or one of the favorites, Blueberry Loop, which we'll make a left onto here momentarily. Then I will probably turn this off for a good bit. And here's Blueberry. Meandering our way through the beginning of Blueberry, which is such a great start to the day. It's a little bit of climbing, enough to get warmed up after sitting in the car all morning, but not too much. And as I've said pretty much every time ever riding up here, what's strange about Blueberry is you're going uphill, but half the time you feel like you're not going uphill. So it's like a MC Escher illustration of impossible perpetual motion something. Super nice stuff. Temperatures today are perfect. I think it's getting down to 60 at night. I'm getting up to about 80 in the afternoon. Right now it's probably mid-70s. And we had a little bit of traffic, which is not a problem at all. Very rare. But everybody's nice to let you by when you want to get by. Although it took him a few minutes to offer it up. Continue to have nice little gentle climby switchbacks. I think we are, I should know this trail well enough by now, but I don't, but maybe a little over halfway up. I'll just let it run for a second. I can never remember what's around the next corner. I'll turn off the camera and then it's like, oh, there was a cool spot. It has not been raining here much lately, so this might be the driest we've experienced. So far there's a little bit of maybe loose sand on top. Not enough to really feel, although if you went to a corner hot you might slide out more than other days, but pretty ideal, all things. While we enjoy a beautiful, peaceful day in the woods, wouldn't be complete without rapid gunfire bursts off in the distance. There, did that come across? Sounded like a third grader on a drum set. But they're not blasting the hell out of poor defenseless animals. I think it's some sort of shooting range for I don't know what. And guess where we are? Gary's hallowed ground. Where are you, Gary? This is your spot. There's your sign. This is the little roll-in pump section. And we're off. I don't think Valerie's been up here since last winter. She really hasn't been on a mountain bike since spring. So definitely a treat to be able to do this today. Drive up and back from Nag Head, a bit of a mission, but not too horrible, especially when you know when you get here you're not going to get skunked. We just moved the O-rings of the shocks of Valerie's bike to the top so that we can see at the bottom just how much travel is getting used for kind of basic riding. I'm pretty bad at knowing how to pressurize them things, but I do what the manual says, which for our riding is probably more than adequate. Probably worth talking about Valerie's new bike. So she had been on Stump Jumper S2, which had been a great introduction to like high quality mountain bike. But the standover didn't cut it, which discovered last winter in Georgia. And even though the bike kind of fit well enough otherwise, as it was fit to her by me, not having standover did not help. So when we were down in Santos, they carried Pivot, which is a really, I guess, higher end US brand out of Utah maybe. They had the Mach 4 SL kind of cross-country bike in Valerie's size, which we rented for the day, and she really liked it. It was very difficult to actually find one available, amazingly, but found one and built it up with a good set of parts to be completely or as interchangeable with my bike as possible. So if we need spares and stuff, same wheels, same derailleur, same batteries, all that stuff works. And so yeah, so today is the first go on it. I've hit line by the wrong direction at least once today. Oh, there's a deer. Sit. Oh, two of them. Oh, you want to go back and do it? And if you were paying attention in the last lap, and any other time I've ever filmed in this section, what do we remember here? That thing. All right, we are towards the top of Bell Lap Return. I think we have a sweeping turn or two, and then we're up by the sign. And then we're going to do Cork Screw down. And then that'll put us back at the bottom of Sunsetter. And we'll do that back up. And then maybe go for a little break at the car for a bit. And that's it. Moss Spring is pretty similar to Blueberry, I guess, in terms of the way it flows. They call it a intermediate. could easily be less than intermediate. There's probably a couple sections that are a little bit of a challenge, like maybe this kind of thing. Oh yeah, here's some chunder. Yeah, I guess this is why it's intermediate. I think this is pretty much, there's not too much of this on here. Might be one log over, maybe a stream crossing, which they will have no stream in it. That's probably all I have to say about that. I just went through one of those dry streams. Of course, I had the camera off. I think the pattern I need to resist is riding along on a spot that really doesn't have much going on. So I figure I'll turn it off. And then that leads to an interesting spot, miss it, and then turn it back on to the standard. I'll just leave it on for that. It's Friday before Labor Day weekend. Granted, it is a Friday. So kids are at school, I would guess, although we saw a batch of kids at the top a minute ago. Perfect weather. And you'd think, okay, this place is going to be a crowd factor. You get out here, and as maybe was shown in a previous clip, saw one guy so far, like in our way on the trail. Trails are all directional, so you don't have the head-on thing, and it also just cuts down on sightings because people are going somewhere around the same speed, even if you're a minute apart. Kind of never even know it. There's somebody else on the trail. So yeah, I almost feel like for the health and mountain biking, it'd be nice to see more people out. Makes you wonder. Here's a crossing. And there's one of these, I always forget if it's on this trail or Cork Screw, which Cork Screw kind of starts and ends at the same spot as this one, Lost String. That's a little, probably a little harder. It has a crossing that's always been basically impossible for me to ride through because of the way the rocks ledge out. And some roots and stumps and this tree that had fallen over. I'd pretty much just given up on it. Perfect place to have a 1 mile per hour crash, which are probably like some of the worst crashes. Maybe not, it's not true, but a 1 mile an hour crash can definitely tweak you. And the tree that had been pretty much blocking half the options to make this section had been removed. So that unpassable crossing is now doable. Thanks to our friends of Pocahontas State Park trail maintenance volunteers. We've been riding for about half hour, a little bit more, which is about what it takes me to warm up anymore. Back on Sunsetter, lap 2. And we will take this to Bellberry, down to the car, and maybe have a little bit of lunch, figure out what we're doing from there. And my hope is to capture a couple clips of Valerie going through the little trickier stream sections. It's hard to reach up and turn the camera on and off when you're going through this. So, we'll see. Just enough. Alright, so now we have, pretty sure, a little extreme cross with a tight left-hand turn after it. Maybe I'll remember to get fenders for our bikes when I go back and rewatch this. Yeah, here it is. Ooh. Very good. I think up here is where we have a rock squeeze that we were talking about earlier, where your front tire has to go in the right spots. I like this high line for that section, easier. There's the squeeze. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I went over the rock. He was back.
Oh, back earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, that would, yeah, gotcha.
I went over the rock instead of trying to get it.
Okay, yeah, that's the way to ride that one. It's just going over, it's just hard enough to make you kind of question it, but it's the right move. Yeah, going around that one won't work. Because yeah, your front wheel that goes around, you're going to clog up the back wheel on it. Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant that root back there is when it kind of gets my attention.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, and this is going to be our third crossing. First time we ever rode here, very tentative. We're very new to kind of getting back into bike riding after a decade-long hiatus. And we didn't know these trails. So we'd come to things like this, be like, is it even rideable? Who knows what's in the bottom of that ditch? Took us, I don't know, 4 times as long probably to ride that trail, this trail then as it does now. These people came by like our age, super nice. They're like, oh, you can ride it, it's good. I remember looking at them, it's like, man, these people, they've got it figured out. So awesome. And now it feels awesome that we have it figured out. How'd Sunsetter go? Do you miss having a front fender for the mud puddles?
I do. It's right up and gets you right between the legs.
Nice. We've been riding for an hour. Do you want to head back to the car? Do you think? Or is it too soon?
Yeah, let's do like Cork Screw or something.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll do Bell Lappy Turn.
And, oh wait, that's Blue Jay Way, wrong one. I think Cork Screw. This is kind of the opposite of Gateway. Whew. I think I'd better wait for Valerie here. We get a good stopping spot. More chunder. And another MTB. No good stops. Here we go. Here's our log over. Some more of these nice little pump track sections, I guess. Pretty, feels like it, not pedaling any. What'd you think of all that?
Easy.
Easy. Okay, good. I thought it was pretty chundry.
Yeah.
What about the log over?
That was fun.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
That was good.
Well, good. That's the hardest part of Cork Screw.
Yeah, I always remember the upper part being
Yeah.
harder than the lower.
I think we did it one of our first tries here, and we were like, oh, we'll never do this again.
Yeah. It's kind of like how it works. And then you get used to the
Yeah.
new.
That's the benefit.
Yep.
Okay, all good? This actually had a pretty tricky rock garden that definitely got my attention. I kind of thought it was going to be a bit much for Valerie. Luckily, she's able to not get wrecked by it. So down around the bend down here is that spot that used to be impossible. She called it Impossibles. Somebody watching this video might recognize that reference, Impossibles. Mountain bike trails. I guess some of them have good names, but not as good as surf breaks. That's where Impossibles comes from. So this would have been Impossibles for me. Right now this Possibles because the tree that used to block that is gone. See if Valerie makes it. All right, we'll catch this for reals. She doesn't know the trails quite as much as me, so I'm sure she's going to be like not sure what to do. And made it. Very nice. This is where it used to have that tree blocking it, and it was unmakeable. All right, still on Cork Screw. If memory serves, there's a nice little side edge somewhere around here you can get up onto. Maybe not. Legs not feeling that great yet. I think I haven't had a day off. And probably pushing 2 weeks. It's not wise. But it's either been waves or wind or a bike. So how do you get a day off? As is often the case, the upper part of Blueberry Descent we don't end up riding because we tend to do either Corkscrew or Lost Spring down the Sunsetter, and then it intersects us with the bottom of Blueberry here. And the top part, quite fun, but this bottom part's just Probably better. I like these little things. It's funny, the first time we came here, I was on the fat bike and Valerie was on the 27.5. We really didn't know what trail to ride. And we started off on like fire roads, which honestly, in some ways are sketchier because of least gravelly stuff and you go faster downhill and it's steeper uphill. And there's an off-camber turn, yuck. And this section of trail was the first one we kind of discovered to ride, and then we would ride it down, ride a piece of fire road up and back down and be like, okay, we thought this was the easiest trail here because we didn't know any better. And now we get on and it's like pretty funny that this was the first one that we were trying to get a feel for. Not that it's hard, but you can go fast, not carefully go too fast. The signs on an intermediate trail here say something like, check your speed, use caution, wheels may leave the ground, which Valerie translates into danger, danger. Understandably. But now, man, just dreaming. And I'm just gonna spit this out. Almost at the bottom. I'll just let the camera roll. Notice what we have left for battery or memory. We go left here. Who knows how any of this will turn out, but hopefully there's enough in here to splice together some good sections for Pocahontas intro. I certainly enjoy looking at some of our other mountain bike rides that we captured last year when we first got this GoPro on Santos. And so yeah, hopefully this one works out too. Even that last switchback when we were first here, like, wow, it's a pretty legit climb. Got switchbacks to go around. I'm feeling okay. Now the motor film kind of forgets you're there. And here we are, back where we first came in a couple hours ago. And I will turn the camera off right when we get back to the bridge, because it seems like a good ending from where we started. Right. They forgot their bikes. Probably e-bikes.